Yo, what's up, guys? It's the Boncho Boys, and we're on Mon-Talk. It's me, Carson, hosting with the boys.
Evan.
And Nito.
And we're on this podcast, we're going to be primarily talking about Digimon-related stuff, such as like format, the products, the market, and all that jazz, and also our experiences during tournaments, and what we be playing, and also maybe give you some insights on how we play the game. So
You're so good at this game. We have so much insight.
we're so much insight.
So well.
If you want to have like a decent idea on what we do and what we have like accomplished, right? Obviously for me, I have not accomplished that much. I'll be honest here. To be frank, I have not I've topped, but I have not gone to Nat, sadly. But these two other individuals, these boyos, have Evan and Jacob have both made it to nationals.
We made it there. Jacob,
we played.
We did. We made it there. That's good.
We played in it.
Did not get top 128. That's for sure.
That's true.
That
is.
But besides Nats, Evan and I have played quite a number of online tournaments, and between the three of us, it's definitely easy to say we know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
You can say that much.
No, for sure. Because I think we've all have started the game around the same time.
I think we started during the early release of BT1, so even before it was out officially in America.
Yeah, exactly. So we got stuff a lot earlier. Obviously, for most of us, we got it like pretty rough, not be able to get most of the product in the beginning of the game,
True.
as most people did.
True.
Because everything was so delayed in COVID and all that jazz. But now everything's pretty smooth now with game product.
Better for sure.
So the first thing we'll discuss, I think, for everyone else that's so excited about the new set of BT7 is the pre-release and what's to come for this meta and this format as a whole.
Sure, yeah.
So we can talk about our pre-release experience since we all went to the same locals together.
Yeah.
Shout out Mox Valley
Games.
Down in, I don't know the street address. Can you say it? I completely forgot.
It's
changing
Springfield.
anyway.
It's in Springfield, Oregon, baby.
Springfield,
if you're there in the
Oregon,
area,
sure.
swing by and play some Digimon.
Oh yeah.
But we had around like 30 people that entered.
I think it was 30 people for the event that entered, yeah.
Yeah, for the people that have entered, so it was quite a bit of people. I think after everything else that's situated and we started playing, I think we had like around 26 players.
Yeah.
Which was still insanely great.
Yeah,
insanely good for even our in the space for the area. And I think overall we had a fun time being able to crack the new product and everyone opening their boxes beforehand
and cheating during the entire event.
And definitely
unintentionally
cheating because most of us did not read our cards.
I never read my card. I read the first half.
Especially Evan. Evan did not read any of his cards.
I made it to top 8 and then I lost because I actually knew what all my cards did at that point.
Then he knew what happened. You should have just cheated all the way through.
That's it. I think that's the best advice you can do is just actually read the card and then that's how you make it a top 8.
Exactly. No, it's so funny because Jacob and Evan both match each other, and that's when Jacob pointed out, you can't do that.
Yeah, every time. Every card's like, that's not how that card works. That's not how that card works. No. I'm like, oh, my deck is considerably worse than I thought it was.
And exactly. It was actually so funny. Because I think I sat next by you, and you were saying, like, you played it, and then I heard after you played it, and you're like, it's main?
Yeah.
No shot.
And then I had no idea what any of my megas did. It was great. Nobody did it either, so that's what I'm saying. Like, you gotta know what the cards do. That's how you make
exactly,
it
and that's pre-release for sure. The experience, like not everyone's gonna know the format, and all the cards in, and the effects, especially since like the format for pre-release. If you guys don't know, it's gonna be like a draft with basically having any color, like a sealed format where you can have like any color digivolve over other colors. So like it doesn't matter if you have purple digivolve over yellow. Like you can just do that as many times as long as you still follow the rules of going to 2 to 6.
It's options as well.
But options is the only ones that can't go. Like you can't just play it just because you can play it. You need to have the color actually on board or in your raising.
Which is also something that went wrong with the BT6 pre-release because nobody realized the boosts were options.
Yeah, they're options.
They're just fucking playing it for free.
Yeah, you can't play those.
No.
Not to mention, too, a lot of the hybrids specify colored tamers.
True.
Which is where you had to work around as well.
And then, I think all of us had a good time. We all top 8. That was actually the day we were also supposed to be doing this. But since we got top 8, we got a little delayed.
Took a lot longer than expected. They are long events for sure.
They were a lot longer. I don't know how many rounds we played.
Well, they're long events when you have 26 people.
5 rounds, top 8, I think is what we did at the event.
Yeah, that was insane. You said it was going to be 6 rounds. I'm like, no shot, it's going to be 6 rounds.
Well, it was more than 6 rounds because we did top 8.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Then it did become that 6 rounds. But yeah. And then, I guess after the pre-release, after we cracked all of our boxes, discuss on our box openings of what we got.
Terrible.
I know Evan got 4 boxes. I got 6 boxes, and Jacob got 3 boxes
as of now.
As of
today.
Yes, as of today. So Evan, how about you discuss like what do you get?
Dude, oh my god. Well, I out of my 4 boxes, I think I got 1 Susanemon and 1 Lucemon. And then all my alternate arts, garbage. I got 1 Gomamon, 2 of the Porcupines. Can I remember the name of those guys? Harrismon. Yep. 1 of the, I think it's, Rasenmon? Rasenmon. And then another Greymon, and then a Doramon. So that Doramon was sick. It's up at right now at a decent price, but like everything else, the pulls are terrible. Out of 4 boxes, I had 1 JP.
Yeah, that
was is a rare. Jacob's got only like 1 Zoe out of 3 boxes, which is insane. Like I think because the campaign rares, like the pulls for rares are so much worse.
They're so hard to get a playset of,
which
now.
is honestly surprising. But I mean, it's not terrible either though, because like they're obviously still like super cheap.
Yeah, they're super cheap. You can get them so easily. I feel like that's how it comes like every new set. Everything's like super like accessible on release because all those cards are gonna be like, oh fucking so many people pull that card, they're just gonna sell it instantly and you should buy it so quickly until a big event happens and someone tops.
Yeah.
Or a content creator posts a video about it.
True. Yeah, exactly. True.
I mean, or they just hype around it, like the color black. Like it always just seems to, even if it's like a terrible color, it seems to do really well. With, it has like a resurfacing for like certain cards that want to be played. Like Sunrizamon.
Yeah, like Sunrizamon now $40, now $50 possibly.
$40.
So, and then for Jacob, you wanted to have a lot of Dark Knightmon, but you didn't get to actually. You only pulled 1 or 2 now.
I pulled a second one today out of my my 3rd box I opened today.
Yeah.
So I have my playset now after doing some trading. But yeah, the pull rates on these boxes are definitely a lot different than previous sets, and it's just because of the campaign rares. I guess I'd be fine with if the campaign rares were like playable, but the only campaign rare that's actually playable is Seraphimon.
True.
And even then, it's like very.
I feel the Greymon's pretty playable as well.
Very niche. I could see the Greymon.
I mean, deleting a 13k is not terrible.
I think just like the only thing with those is that they are obviously it works in this format because there's so many tamers that can be played, but at the same time, there's so many other better cards that exist for it.
Well, I don't know. So like, I feel like the pulls actually weren't that bad because of the campaign rares, because all you're missing out were on 4 rares. Like you shouldn't be like only having 1 JP or 1 Zoe because of 4 rares that are like taking in the spots of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think it's also like this set just might be a bigger set with a vaster amount of rares. I think.
Yeah,
I can see that. Also, not to mention, I don't know if it's factual or not, but I feel like your tamer is typically that second card in your pack.
Yeah. True. Or the double tamer pack. The dreaded double tamer.
Dreaded double tamer pack. I also think like like even then like I know there was someone that opened 1 box and they pulled 3 GPs out of 1 box. So they almost have a whole playset. So like it's
just like you're just not gonna have 1 rare. For
some
reason.
It's just not. You're just gonna have 1 that's gonna be really lower than the other. For my 6 boxes, I got freaking shafted by Evan Wumon. I literally pulled 6 copies of this guy. It's actually insane, and I don't know how the hell that happened to me. But I literally got shafted because I only pulled 1 Dark Knightmon out of 6 boxes.
Ooh, I actually pulled only 2 Evan Wumon, but I also pulled like
I took all of it for you.
4 Emperor Greymons.
You're welcome. I took it all for you.
I think I only got like 1 out of my 3.
Yeah. But besides that, are there any decks right now in this format that you're interested in playing in right now, near like future locals or upcoming tournaments that could possibly happen? Just what's a deck that you want to play right now, and like theorize?
Well, I'm playing Lilith Loot because I from the get go I've been playing purple. From like set 1, I was playing purple, which I loved, and then until now, it's just been terrible. I mean, I'm sure Lilith Loot was like good. I just wasn't a fan of how it played. But now, because of Icemon and Icemon Scatter Mode, that deck is insane. Even though we're missing MDF, like the fact that you can swing, trash 2 or 3 cards if you have like the line, and then you play 3 level 4s that are like 11Ks. Huge.
It's actually
massive. Like, oh my god.
There's a reason why that card's gonna be limited next time.
Yeah.
Something I thought of, which is funny, is the Icemon only plays when you discard it and you have a scatter mode in trash.
Yeah.
So Icemon on its own is like almost always, if you're playing it for free, it's at least a 7k.
Yeah, at least a 7k.
A 7k or bigger. So you're getting a free 7k or higher. Like it's just really free. And
yeah. Especially like if you have effects that are like happening, like let's say your opponent swings into you and you do have like a Demi-Meramon under you and they do kill it. And you do have the line that it's like scatter mode in there. You can just literally make a body on next turn. It has no summoning sickness, which is insane tempo for you because that means you're not behind at all and you just swing right back.
Or you can like Digivolve Kakumon on it and then it has rush.
Exactly.
And then you just get the free swing off of right away if you think it's gonna die, which is like also so insane. But like yeah, you can have like the most like the craziest line I've seen is like scatter mode over Gabumon. Over Demi-Meramon, you're trashing 4 and drawing what is it, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ooh. And it's like if you don't, you can like literally drop 4 Icemon off of one swing, which is like ridiculously insane. It's insane. At first I was like, why is this card limited in next set? And it's like, oh,
dude, this guy was
I
like,
get it.
I remember like before like last set, you're like, why are they limiting this card? I don't know, just like,
yeah,
Purple
doesn't get that much good stuff. Let them have this. No, they can't have it.
Yeah, you play it, you're like, oh my god, that's insane.
I think that's why your Rubimon list was bad, because you weren't running scatter mode.
Honestly, that's what I'm feeling. Cause like if you run that thing, it speeds up so much. I mean, it can trash all the things I needed to come out afterwards.
You get bodies on board.
And you get bodies on board.
Just
huge,
huge,
like, what is that? What is that?
Huge bodies.
So, yeah, so Lilith move. I know for sure you've been playing and busting your ass out playing that thing recently.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, I got shit on by I started that Galmon deck, but that doesn't really. That doesn't count. I don't count that.
Yeah, we'll definitely talk about that. Jacob, what's the deck that you've been planning to play?
So obviously I'm wanting to play with Yellow Hybrid. I've been a diehard Yellow fan since set 1.
True. Your Kinkerus on control.
Yes, iconic. But actually starting off this format, I want to screw around with Dark Knightmon. I think Dark Knightmon fits well, and the Commandramon package is just like a more mid-range piece for Commandramon. So if you don't get it super early game, you have a tool that you can utilize for mid to late game. And I think it works really well, although there was a person at Locals today who was playing a Commandramon that ran a decent purple package, and he did fairly well. So I think the Commandramon package I think is super nice because it fits in with a lot of stuff like really well. Like in set 5, I was playing Commandramon with a yellow package to utilize like Starmons and Spiral Masquerades.
Bro,
in set 6, you were
shit on Rookie Rush.
In set 6, you were playing Commandramon with just a bunch of the security Digimon effects and playing it like a security control. And it's like it's nice to have like Commandramon, like while black is a color, like besides the diehard fans that play it, black seemingly is a color that like doesn't see as much play because a lot of his effects aren't as aggressive or aren't as like game breaking. But Commandramon seems just like it's a solid core 20 cards that you can just work around from there. And we got a lot of cool stuff in this set that works with it. Pride Memory Boost plays almost every card in the deck.
That is so free.
That's insane because like we can play like what is that 4 cost?
4 cost. You can get like Mechanarmons, any of the Commandramons.
Anything like that's most of the things you already have in your deck already primed already. And then you can also just.
I mean, not all of the level 4s that you can play. I don't know if you can play.
You can play level 3s.
Well, do you still play the security Digimon in those lists?
No, you don't. Because now I think the list now it just becomes just like a normal like you're making a climb deck now. Because you can climb just to a 5 and then that 5 stays and you can just recur like those things you need.
I always thought you just like the what's it, it's Dark Knightmon is what it's called. I thought it was always you just like you have your level 4s and level 3s, you just swing in a bunch, and then you hard play the Dark Knightmon, and then you just get this big boy. And then he checks 2 security, and then when he dies, you just have 2 more bodies on the board. So
what's very interesting is because you can just do a line like this. Like for example, let's say we have like the Searcher Commandramon, and you do have Knightmon, the one I forgot which one it was, the level 4 one that gives security +1.
The Skull Knight.
Yeah, Skull Knight. If you have Skull Knight on board and you have Axemon also on the board, you just go line to swing with the search. If it dies, whatever. Yeah. You have Axemon. You could swing with Axemon if you really want to, but if you swing with Skull Knight, you can actually do the skill where you can just instantly Digivolve on top of it by putting an Axemon if it doesn't have any sources, or you can strip away the sources under it, put it right under, and go straight into evolving into Dark Knightmon for free. which is insane.
It's like a pseudo Jogress essentially.
Yeah, it's like the beginning of what Jogress is.
What we're getting with the starter decks in next set.
They're like playtesting it with like Dark Knight Mon, like, oh, this is totally fine, and they're like, oh, wait a minute.
What I've been really trying to do is because the Skull Knight Mon's a when attacking effect. So I've been trying to like throw the Axemon in first, because if you can swing with the Axemon and it survive and then get the and then swing with the Skull Knight Mon and throw it under there, you just get an extra check for free essentially, as long as your Axemon lives through that first fight. Which is super cool. Like I said, it's like our first like playing around with Jogress. Yeah, so Dark Knight Mon is a deck that I'm actually really excited to play. I finally got all of it finished today, so I'll be testing it out.
That'll be fun. I think what's very interesting about Dark Knight Mon is that its text, does it say would be deleted? Does it keep that? That's very interesting that it has that word. It's very interesting because it kind of hints out like things that would target it, that it like could possibly mean like in the next set in Japan, meaning that if it does get support, would it have like some type of protection from it being deleted, still proccing the skill of popping things out, which sounds very interesting to me because from what I've heard, it sounds like a lot of people already know what's going to be in the next set, being like it's going to be Cross Wars, being it's going to be like more Shaman support, but also Dark Knight Mon is also from Cross Wars, which would mean we might get Bagramon, which is also in the text for Axemon's skill, and also I think Skull Knight. So that would be pretty interesting.
It'd be cool to get probably another level 5.
Yeah, another level 5.
Because I think Dark Knight Mon and Bagramon Jogress into something.
What's also interesting is like also we're also getting another level 4 next set for BT8 support for Dark Knight Mon, which is just like it does both. You can just act as either or, which sounds it's crazy. That you can have like there's more support options for it. So I think Dark Knight Mon, since it doesn't have a lot of showing in Japan when it first came out for BT7, will be interesting, and also with the restrictions, there'll be like I think that's like one thing with that deck is like you can make a wide board, but you couldn't swing a lot because a lot of blue decks would just be like Ice Wall repeatedly.
True.
And now there's only Ice Wall limited to one. When they have that issue, and a lot of wide decks can actually play.
Not only that, but like Mega Digimon Fusion is banned, which is like a complete meta
Change.
rework.
Exactly.
Because like sure, yellow and blue are like they're good, right? But like they don't got Susanamon no more.
Yeah, they can't just go Susanamon for like the last thing and just like do for free, pop, swing, and then after that just do more stuff and then let it die.
Yeah.
And then you can just also it goes back to the bottom of your deck with also the other 10 cards you put in there. So you already know what you're gonna get if you're playing late game, which yellow does and purple does.
I think the difference is like Susanamon was like not only a finisher, but it was also like a piece of removal that like continued your turn still. Now it's just another like option. Yeah, right. That costs 7 to delete something, and then you can delete it afterwards. Exactly. It ends your turn right away, so it actually doesn't like those decks now have a much harder time finishing the game actually, which is why I don't think they're as top tier anymore. I still think they're good. No doubt about that. Like their core is good, but like they don't have that finisher.
No, I feel like the same can be said for a lot of decks that want to go into like level 7 specifically. Like I know a deck that hurts a lot from the banning of MDF is Lilith Loop, which is what everyone thought of at first. Sure. Yeah. Because Lilith Loop liked to abuse Zwart as not only removal with its ability to swing and pop a 11 cost or less.
12
cost or less.
Unsuspended.
Is it unsuspended?
It's unsuspended.
Damn, some of his tab you can't even do.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's like not as good, but you still add it back to your hand.
All I remember was it couldn't hit Lord Nightmon. Zwart could hit everything in the set but Lord Nightmon, which was pretty cool.
Can't hit Shrubimon either.
You can't hit Shrubimon.
But you want Shrubimon to die.
Exactly, which is like, which is great for you because it's not a May effect, it's a must.
Yeah.
One of the things I think is super cool about this set is you're seeing a lot of dual color decks.
Oh yeah.
Granted, we get once we hit BT8 and onward, we start to see a lot more dual color decks because the starter deck 10 and 11, or starter deck 8 and 9 come out, which are dual colored, and set 8 has a lot of dual colored with the armor purge cards. But we're seeing a lot of dual colors this set. We're seeing purple yellow hybrids. We're seeing red green hybrids.
Well, they're not actually dual color though. They're like
But we're seeing a splash of different color besides just
Yeah.
monocolor.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
We're we're just not seeing just like monocolor like as much as like like the other format for Japan had it. But we're definitely seeing like more splashable stuff that you can actually play with because the format changed. Because the games will last longer, so it's just not just like a blowout. I just go MDF Susanoo for free
for 3 checks.
For 3 checks first, just to clear it, and I could just go hybrid.
Into another hybrid, yeah.
Because that was how fast those games were. It's just such a blowout.
Or for free if you have a Pokemon on the field.
Yeah, exactly. A Boko can make it absolutely free. Like that's like that like game state. Like if you like Susanoo, you can only make it so good if you have Boko on the board. And now everyone's just playing cards that just stop Pokemon for just even doing his ability as a whole.
Yeah, it's like you're seeing cards like Neo Devimon actually being played in this set with Lilith, because Lilith actually wasn't a deck in the Japan meta. I feel I don't remember ever seeing it in the Japan meta.
I think it was definitely like a 1.5 deck, but people put it on, and it was still work. The only reason being Eismon existed, which made it accelerate, like to speed it up, and MDF still existed. I think those are the only 2 things. But now that MDF is gone, I still think it's still a strong deck because Eismon. I think Eismon is still a prominent card that can literally just screw the game up. Because if you just kill something, and the worst part is like, oh, I kill something, awesome. But you get to discard something, that's terrible. Because for one, you're getting basically like 2 great things that are happening. Your trash is filling, and also you're making something on the board for free.
Yeah, I mean, you don't get the combo piece of MDF, which actually like loops, but you can still like loop it with just like gaining 6 memory off of your Lilithmon if you're at 20 cards in the trash, which is so easy to get to. And like Icemon and like the Nidhoggmon give you like a really good early game. Like they just like purple just got like good stuff, which is what actually is making the deck actually viable. But I'm seeing like a lot of decks like you were actually saying about the dual color, like yellow is now splashing purple because
for sure
yellow and blue are the only decks that actually play a million tamers.
Yes.
That's why they were able to run like Analog Youth and stuff like that, because they're already running a million tamers.
And you can climb.
So they were
like
doing
normally.
MDF for that reason, because they just slotted out some other blue tamers for it. But like green and like red, they weren't really using MDF. I don't believe, because they didn't have a bunch of tamers to do it with.
Exactly. Because there's not that many options that are for green to even use, really. They only have like Ken, Mimi, the Mimi and Izzy.
I think it was literally just JP and Mimi is all they run.
JP, Mimi. I see some people are using Ken now.
Ken?
Yeah, it's just the only reason because Ken, like, you're tapping so much stuff already.
Another memory setter.
You gain a memory setter, and he's a memory setter. I think it's just like, right now, like, it's putting Mimi out is just like too fast for people, and you just like go through your stuff too quickly. Because some people like,
they don't have any of their babies left.
Yeah, there's just no babies left.
You can run what's her name?
Which one?
Yep.
Fujino.
Fushida.
yeah, the girl that brings back a baby if you digiburst it. Insane. It's back, baby.
So good. That's so good.
I think you'll start seeing people run the starter deck Izzy.
Yeah, for sure. That card's insane for that deck specifically, because if you have it out, you can just go to like, I forgot the horn.
Yeah.
Like that one option card costs 1, and if you have a hybrid on board, you can tap anything. It's not DPU like specified or what level specified. You just tap something, and it basically just costs for free.
Yeah,
Izzy being on board.
I have seen people running that one, but I don't know. You do get the free one, but then you're also just losing a tamer at the same time.
That's if you digivolve over it, though. You know, right? That people only use it a lot for it. I definitely, even if like I heard people like, oh, I'll just play Izzy and then I'll digivolve for beat them. Like, I don't even do that yet.
Well, not right away, but like I feel like if you are playing a tamer, you are probably going to use it to digivolve in that turn.
Yeah, for sure. Afterwards,
in the next turn or something like that. Yeah.
And also like I feel like a lot of people are just so scared to digivolve over their. Sometimes like there are game states like you need to digivolve over your memory tamer, and people just don't do it. So it just like completely scares them, because like it's like
terrified.
It's either I finish this game right here, I digivolve my memory tamer, or I just lose, right, kind of deal. But yeah, it's definitely gonna be interesting. I know the deck that I'll be playing right now would be most likely green.
Yeah,
green is very interesting because it's very toolboxy. Because I can toolbox a lot of things. Like I can easily put Nidhogg. Nidhogg definitely like.
I don't think you need Nidhogg. I think you just need Ancient Tremon.
No, yeah, you play both. You can play all 3. That's the thing. You play all 3. Because for me, why Nidhogg I think is interesting, because like let's say like U-Flare. If I U-Flare you and you have a tamer.
Yeah.
For example, it goes back on your board. If I Nidhogg and bot deck, everything goes to trash. That's the difference with those, right? If I can literally just pop your board and you have like 2 tamers that you use, and then you have nothing in raising. If I time it right, I can easily just digiverse and just wipe your board and go all bot deck. And also that whole deck literally has 2 cards that can literally tap, would be Mecha Kabuterimon, and then also the option card.
What are you talking about?
The hybrid one.
The metal?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the mega one.
But it's only like only taps on 6Ks.
Yeah, and that's the problem with Nidhogg. It only hits 5K. That's the issue. And some things need to be tapped at 6K, and also the option card is there for the existing. And also you can very easily make the 4 line with it.
Because you can do all over the level 4s.
The JP. JP counts as the baby. If you do JP Beetlemon...
JP actually counts as level 3.
Yeah, no, what I'm saying is that you need Digiburst 4 to do Nidhogg skill.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you can do that. That counts as 1. Beetlemon, Mecha Commentariamon, and then you go straight into level 3 for 1, and then you just go straight into that, and you just pop it if you need to as an option. It's just like a tech option, because you do run way more Ancient Shroymon and Ancient Commentariamon than the other ones. Ancient Beetlemon, I mean.
Yeah. You know what we were going to talk about, though? We had a tournament at our locals that hosted the side deck and mulligan rules.
True. We did have that at our locals. Me and Evan both participated. Jacob did not come.
That's where I got absolutely dunked on by Red Gallimon starter deck.
Yes, that's true. Okay, so the event was like, we played the format how Digifest is going to have it. Or is it Digifest?
It was Digifest, I want to say.
Yeah, so Digifest is going to have a format set ruling for having mulligan and also side decking up to 10 cards.
Yeah.
And you go mulligan only one time. It's going to be like the whole thing. If you guys don't know what mulligan, for the mulliganing is for Digimon, it's going to be, you put 5 security in, check your top 5 cards, put in your hand, then you can decide if you want to keep it or put it to the bottom. So it's not just like you choose X amount, it goes to the bottom, draw
it's
that
a hard mulligan.
It's a hard mulligan. You drop it all to the bottom of your deck.
You don't even shuffle it.
You don't even shuffle it, so you already know what's at the bottom. So whatever you bottom, most likely you're not going to see it unless you can easily,
it's
push
all 4 Bokomons.
Yeah, and then you draw 5, and then you go, right?
Yeah.
So that was what we tried and experimented for the day that we played it for locals. And what did you bring? You brought Lilith.
I brought Lilith, yeah.
Okay, so he brought Lilith, and for this day, 2 days ago, we were pumping. Like, he was practicing. He was. I was literally telling him the day we were playing it, like, dude, you're literally playing this deck so well. Like, you literally have all the pieces. You have literally all 4 Jack grids. It's literally insane. You got these crazy lines, right? And the moment he comes in, it was rough for him.
I low rolled so hard.
You low rolled so hard. And for me, I wanted to bring a deck that I haven't played and hadn't built yet. So the same day we had the locals at home, I made the Ancient Greymon deck, or just the red hybrid deck.
Red hybrid Ancient Greymon.
Yeah. So I made that list with obviously like the Ancient Greymon, the 4 of, and then the 3 to 4 Emperor Greymon. I think the 3 Emperor Greymon because it's only there for game.
Yeah, you just need to finish the game.
Yeah, honestly. Finish the game. So that's what I brought in, and that was insane. That deck is insane. But we can start like what we had for our first, like what did you have sideboarded?
My sideboard was like so last minute. I wish I could have done other stuff, but my sideboard I think was 2 Elecmons. Because I added in the Gabumons, the BT1 Gabumon, something like that lets you on deletion draw 2 trash 1. So I had 2 Elecmons from BT6 that on deletion delete level 30. And then I also had 2 more Gazimons. I have like a playset of Gazimons. I had 2 more Neo Devimons. I have a playset of Neo Devimons for those super heavy like yellow and blue matchups. And then I also had a Lotmon. And then I also wanted to run I think it's for Orochimon, the purple one.
Yeah.
I didn't put them in there. I wish I did. But it was for decks like Jessmon and X Anybody and stuff I don't play a lot of Tamers. Would have been nice. Didn't have them though.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I had. And I used my sideboard every single game. I had a reason to sideboard every single game. However, I did not mulligan a single game, match, whatever you want to call it. I just kept it every time. I was like, yeah, we can work with this. We can work with this.
Yeah. So that was very interesting because like that entire game, I had the opposite. I sideboarded like once, and I shouldn't even sideboard. In my mind, I shouldn't even sideboard at all in the entire thing.
Yeah.
And all my sideboard was just pretty much just option cards. I think I had like Trident Revolver. I had like Giga Storm to replace my Atomic Blaster. I had Marcus just to replace if I wanted to have like one less tie, or just like putting into 2 Marcuses if I really wanted to. And then just like some rookies like Gaussmon and Gaussmon just for the reduce if I'm going against yellow. Yeah. And then Madogi Betamon because there's no memory choker for red that exists. So there was like that. But in reality, playing that deck list, it was just no need for it.
No.
Because it's either just like I hit you for 5 or 6 checks real quick and end the game with the Emperor. because you can get 5. That's one thing that's crazy, because like if you have Takuya and you have 5 in trash, 5 trash is not that hard to do.
It's so easy.
Especially if you do
the ancient
you do analog, do it, and then after that you have ancient gray and swing. You already have 5 in there.
You're
set.
So good.
You're already good to go, and you just finish the game like that. But for mulliganing, since you did 0, I did up to like I think I only mulliganed 2 times. Like 2.
I think that was the average. 2 or 3
times.
It was like around like 2 to 3 times per person
out of 8 rounds.
Out of
8 games. 8 games. I mean 8 games.
Yeah, 4 rounds.
4 rounds, but like I'm saying, like for if it was like best 2, it'd be like that's how it'd be.
Yeah. 8 games total. Like everybody mulled like total of like 2 to 3 times, which is like super low. With that, much lower than I thought. But like I think we've all gotten used to like, yeah, I can deal with this shitty hand. We'll go with it.
It's like, oh, I got a level 5. What if I played it and it didn't die?
Oh, another thing about this meta that's so funny is like hard playing a Neo Devi against yellow and blue hybrid.
That's so annoying.
So good. It's so good because like sure like what they can do is they can like they need to play tamers. They need to play a billion tamers, and if they have them in security, then you're just kind of fucked either way. But like
for sure.
You're slowing them down. So they're gonna play like a memory choker, so you don't gain the memory, and then play a tamer, and then you've done the effect of gaining the memory anyways. Or they're just gonna fucking hard play it and then give you the more memory. You're like, cool, awesome, go for it. But yeah, I think there's like decks that like use the mulligan system. The sideboard a lot more than other decks because like they've got you've got like decks like their lists are super tight like red hybrid and like blue and yellow hybrid. I feel except for like I think yellow hybrid has like their sideboard is more like a pivot. They can like either go from strictly yellow hybrid to just straight up Lord Nightmon. They can just take out 4 tamers and add 4 Nightmons, 4 Lord Nightmons, and then whatever the fuck else they want to add in, and then just like a complete pivot, which is honestly super interesting. But I think like Lilith Loop, like there's the deck isn't actually as tight as you think it is, and you can change the rookie count as much as you want. You can change your level 5s are super easy to change around, and I think there's like some decks that will utilize the sideboard a lot more than other decks, though.
Yeah, no, for sure. Because that's how I feel about most of it. Like some decks are just so straightforward that you don't need to do it because the whole game plan is like it's gonna happen regardless. You just gotta go and do it. Because like there's no point in this format to just play slow and just reduce if that's not the idea of your deck.
Yeah.
If your deck's idea is not to do this and you're trying to sideboard it in and it's not like speeding up and accomplishing your goal, then you don't need to sideboard at all. I know for Jacob, he had a diff from like how you said the sideboard for yellow. He had a more sideboard for purple. That's for removal for situations.
Yeah.
And what was it? I know like what was it? Because like I think at the locals there's 2 people that are playing yellow hybrid, and 2 of them are pretty much playing a similar version of that deck list, playing a bottom of purple, right?
They're just bottom purple for just Gazimon.
Yeah, Gazimon.
And then I think they run Xiaomon as their bottom.
For retaliation.
Just to fucking get that Gazimon in there and just to murder everything.
Everything at once. Because like it's so funny because like yellow can easily just go to 10 with as easily as purple. Obviously not as easily, but with how much it heals and how much pops out of it, you just go straight to like, oh, I have 10. Xiaomon swing. Yeah. Freaking, you're vulnerable.
You're just filling up your security, and they're just filling up your trash for you. So you're like not really going anywhere in like in health, but your trash is just getting filled up.
Exactly. So I think like that option card, that purple option card that could just pop a level 5 for how many like hybrid traits and also tamers in play is freaking broken. Like how does that exist in the game? You know what I'm saying?
It's so good.
You can literally pop as many as you want. There's no limit. Like it just says, oh, as many as you have. Oh, and tamers, by the way. Yeah. Which in this whole format, yellow has like 5.
That's why yellow utilizes it the best, because I feel like blue they actually have blue rookies that they want to use. No. Yellow has none. They've got nothing. So like using the purple bottom end for Gazimon to stop the Pokemons and your opponents in the mirror match is like super good. And then they also have the Jewel Swarmer to actually wipe the board if you don't have Shining Greymon.
Yeah.
Which is equally good.
I don't know if the purple base is as strong as the yellow base though. I feel like because I've play tested the 2, and I feel like with yellow hybrid specifically, I more often want to have that Salmon and Upamon. Just being able to get your card draw to draw into your answer, as well as just getting the extra recovery. So if you're at 0, your Salmon and then Jet Sylphiemon's gonna recover you to 2 instead of just 1. does potentially allows you to like just stabilize for at least another turn. I definitely do like in my sideboard. My sideboard is a whole purple package, mainly to deal with decks that go super wide. But I saw people playing. I saw people playing like purple babies. I don't know if I would want to take out the Upas. I feel like I tend to like the Upas a lot more.
Yeah, because you like the idea to draw more to find things, because versus like some players like to just play it out and just play until they have this purple option and you use it at the right time. Versus like you want to start
or hitting insecurity.
Yeah, or
hitting insecurity
is
huge.
And if you can recover it.
Oh my god,
yeah, and
it's so brutal.
Yeah, I know like thankfully for like my matchup, since I had the new Alderman for this set, which basically is a delicate plan.
Yeah, a delicate plan forever.
Which is insane because like most of my opponents didn't even know that. Like especially like for finals, since it was like me and him. I swang, and he already knew he had two crazy option cards. It was both those options. It was the same option card, and there's two of it stacked on top of each other. And he already knew that. Like he knew it was in there somehow. And I swang, and he's like, "Effect." I'm like, "No, delicate plan, my guy." He's like, "Oh my god, that card's broken." And I'm like,
"Oh my god,
sure, it's broken, but it's broken to the sense like it's like I still have to climb it, right?
I wouldn't say not necessarily.
Right.
Emperor Greymon slap underneath there.
That's exactly. That's why I think is that part is insane.
Emperor Greymon is
like
so
Emperor
good.
Greymon makes it like so like I can do that.
Yeah, like
and just check for free, and all the options don't even activate.
Analog Youth putting that in the trash is like, oh my gosh, it's like huge.
The only one like I think I misplayed the most, like I keep forgetting like to throw away the flame one that has piercing in the trash. Having that is so important.
That too. I mean, I wouldn't actually put piercing underneath the Emperor Greymon because
you can put Takuya, that one.
Well, yeah. What I wouldn't put the Emperor Greymon, the piercing one, because like you want them to block it, and if they don't block it, then you need to get the free checks in. But if they do block it, you gain the memory back, and then you also unsuspend and you just do it again.
That was actually the funny thing, because like when we were playing, I was playing against a Jesmon list as well, on that day, and I didn't even know Emperor Greymon had a second effect.
I know.
It's actually so
you
fucking
have to read
funny.
The other half of the card. It's really hard.
It's actually so fucking funny because like all I read is like it's Blitz and also Takuya makes it come out. That's the only thing I knew, right? And I played it and it was like I finally read the ability because he had a blocker, because like what the board say was Burning Greymon, and I think I had two Pokemons out, and I pretty much just had two Atomic Infernos in hand. I Atomic Inferno'd I was at 2 memory. Atomic Inferno the Burning Greymon went to 1. I swang, gonna check all of it with Burning Greymon. Burning Greymon's at 9k, and he blocked with CL. Atomic Inferno has also a second skill. If it gets blocked, I gain 2 memory. So,
Atomic Inferno?
Yeah. Atomic Inferno has a second skill. If it gets blocked, I get 2 memory.
No, it's 3 memory.
Oh, it's 3 memory. So I went from 1 to 3.
4.
Oh, 1 to 4. And yeah, you're right. 1 to 4, can't do math. 1 to 4, and then after that, I did the Takuya, and I Digivolved over it, and also Digivolved over Tamer, so it became, it was free.
Yeah.
So Boko just made it free, so I was stuck at 4 still, and I swang, and I swang with it, and he blocked with Blanc, the last one.
This
and,
fool.
And he's this fool, he didn't know.
This
so I
fool.
swang, and I did it, and I told him only the second part of the skill. I said like, "Oh, I gained memory by the way since you blocked," and he's like, "Oh, okay." I was like, "I gained 5 because I put 5 hybrids in the sources, right?" And I didn't read the first part, which said it untaps.
Yeah.
It untaps. I was like, "Bro, that card's freaking insane."
That's why I feel like you don't want the piercing underneath it, because they're not gonna block it. It's like if they block it, then you just gain 5 memory and you just do it again.
Yeah, because like, okay, here's the thing. I if he blocked it, I had Boko, but I needed a hybrid in my hand. But since I did evolve, I top deck Burning Greymon and I finished it for a game. But if I knew about the unsuspended, it would have been way easier than me trying to top deck and find it. Like, oh my god. But like those scenarios, like it's insane. I think like in that entire set, or just playing that day, there was so many times it's Emperor for game.
Emperor is such a good hybrid.
And also like now
Blitz?
Blitz, because like that's what happened. I finished the game. He's like, oh my god, his Blitz. I forgot. Like exactly. Like it's so weird.
There's so many games in like BT6 where you're like, oh, I don't have enough memory for my Lobomon, my Goonimon. I was like, Blitz.
Exactly.
Blitz. Fuck you.
Blitz,
I don't care.
Done. Exactly.
And then you block it again, and I unsuspend. You know,
yeah,
I'm done.
Because that's what's funny. Because like if they do block it and it's for lethal and they block it, you just gain back that memory. You just Digivolve.
They need
1
2 blockers. They need 3 blockers if they're at lethal with Emperor Greymon.
Yeah.
As a possible threat, because you can block, then unsuspend, and they swing, and you have to block again, and then you have the 5 memory for another tamer, and you fucking do it again.
Yeah, do it again.
And you
See?
just continue the cycle.
Yeah, that was actually crazy though. What else was there? about that day. That was insane.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, like when me playing just this one, like for this format, I didn't think much of it. It's still super strong with 4 Saviors still. And also that Blanc, that Awakening.
The CL.
Oh my god.
Or the Blanc, yeah.
Crazy. The Blanc Awakening.
Bro,
dude.
Jesmon just does everything that every color does. He's got recovery.
It's like
yellow.
Suspend.
He can check to security, and then he can kill stuff like purple. And it's like, bro, what else?
What else do you want?
What else do you want?
And
they got Chimera on next set, and they can just go like boom, and then they can swing again.
That's what I'm so curious about, because if we get the starter deck, I wonder if they're gonna do another. Like, what's the annual time they do limited cards?
Oh, that's right. They're doing Jesmon and Ragnarmon, and have they spoiled anything for that yet?
No, that's gonna be soon though. It should be later this month, because they come out in April. So in Japan, they come out in April. So we should be getting.
Oh, they're not even out in Japan. Well, we don't even have the Imperial Jamon or the Mastermon deck. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, those aren't even out yet.
Gosh, dude.
So, but then, yeah, that's pretty much it. I got first place for that one, for that event.
Good job, Carson. I got
Flex.
8th.
Dude, it's so funny because I thought it was so funny because like you traded your Beelzemon and then you also traded.
Yeah. Well, I traded a Beelzemon and a Lilithmon for an alternate Lilithmon because I just don't have that yet. So there's no reason not to.
And then he went for 8th because he just.
I did go for 8th. Hey, hold on. The Lilithmon, alternate Lilithmon, mommy. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
Mommy. Okay.
Can we discuss about the starter deck now?
What
happened in that game? Because I was sitting next by you when that was happening.
I didn't have Icemon. Like, this is what happened. I high rolled against Eric, and I got like a million Icemon constantly. And then their 6,000 DP Dark Tyrannomon checked all 5 of my security, never died. I never saw an Icemon, and then I lost. I just couldn't get it. I couldn't do anything.
It's actually so fucking funny because like
I low rolled so low, and I just didn't I had no and like every time I swung in and didn't die, I'm like, oh my god, and they literally on played a Mega, and I'm like, dude, I can't deal with this.
I saw them on play like a fucking Yu-Gi-Oh card, bro. Fucking bam, Yu-Gi-Oh card.
Yeah, they're like
Shine Greymon, Egyptian God card out there, bro, and it played.
Starter deck Shine Greymon.
Nothing happened, and nothing happened on that card on play. It's just there. It just exists.
Yeah.
Because you gave them 8 memory, and they just like fuck it.
Yeah, bro. I on played
Lady Debbie.
No, I on played a Lucemon fall down mode. Chaos mode? Chaos mode. To delete their Shine Greymon that they had on the field already. Oof. I just had to deal with it.
Yeah.
And then they're like, meh, why not?
There's another one.
And I was like, I have so many outs. I have Ginkakumon. I have Lady Devimon. I have another what's it called? I have another Jack Rid I can get, and I got none of it. I received none of it. So I couldn't do anything. I couldn't kill I didn't have an option in hand to use the Lady Devimon effect to pop the level 3 that they had. Yeah. And I was just like, I just got dunked on. I got absolutely dunked on by this starter deck, and I was like, damn.
The on-play Shine Greymon.
On-play Shine Greymon. It works every time, dude. It works every time. Don't forget that.
Okay. And then also now, Jacob went to this recent event today at Locals. And what did you bring?
So I brought Jesmon today because I didn't have enough for Yellow Hybrid. I didn't have enough for Blue Hybrid. I didn't have enough. I pulled like 1 or 2 copies of all the cards I actually needed. So I didn't have enough to play any of that good decks today. But I was like, Jesmon I think is still with how high of a ceiling Jesmon has, I think Jesmon's always going to be a contender for a top tier deck simply because an uninteractable OTK is always gonna fare well.
Exactly,
for sure.
But I went 2 and 2. I beat the person playing Red Gallantmon.
Let's go.
True, he beat Red Gallantmon, bro. That's something I could not accomplish.
God bless.
Lost to Blue Hybrid because I did not play around Blue Hybrid at all. I was completely accepting of Tommy's and Sora's and Joe's to strip my sources away. And I also lost to Red Hybrid. Although the Red Hybrid game was significantly close. The Blue Hybrid 2-0'd me. Red Hybrid, we went to game 3 and it was neck and neck for a while. But there was like a turn or two where he got to set up tamers, and I wasn't able to respond by climbing super well, and in doing so, I did lose that one, and then I beat another Red Gallantmon in round 4.
Go.
There we go. Jacobs wins against Red Gallantmon so far. 2-0. Mine
I know my red Gallimon matchup.
That's really
well.
good.
Huge.
That's
Good.
massive.
That's good.
But Jesmon feels fine. It's the same deck it was before. You have a more consistent baby to find your sisters, and you have
Urki? Urki.
Urki.
The new Huckmon. Oh my.
Top 5, grab all
gosh.
sisters. It's not
All
one.
sisters.
It's all sisters.
Oh,
my
sisters,
gosh,
dude.
It's like
Dude,
the pad of the
can you
sisters, all
imagine
tamers,
top
grab all
5?
tamers.
Can you imagine top 5 reveal all 5 sisters? Draw 5. Okay. I guess I got
I
the
got all
rest
of them?
of the sisters for the game.
Yep, you're dead, dude.
So
you're dead.
the Huckmon's super nice. It's just a good consistency piece that Jesmon needs. I find most of the time I'm attacking with my bow Huckmons
Way more,
with
right?
that Huckmon
That
underneath
makes sense.
it.
That's all.
Yeah.
Just so I can like it allows me to play early and get them into more of a lethal range, and allows me to use Huckmon's ability. And Blanc Awaken's actually really good.
Yeah.
Like I said,
Recover one?
getting that
For
recovery one,
sure.
and more importantly, I find is it's on deletion. It's on deletion. Being able to grab a Sistermon, Royal Knight, or Huckmon from your trash into your hand allows me to once I find my one savior, I can consistently play my savior, which is super important for that deck. One of the things I will say though, as I find very often, you're getting put to 4 turn 1. If you're going second with
Every
Jesmon,
game.
you're getting put to 4. The problem is Jesmon is not using any 1 Digivolve level 4s. So I am debating about whether or not trying to fit in maybe just a couple monochromons or even dark tyrannomons, just because having an opponent set a memory tamer to put you to 4 and me being able to digivolve having to digivolve into my level 4 for 2, and then if I have a savior I can go into it for 3, but they get their 3 anyway, or playing a rookie, whereas I feel like I would prefer maybe I'm sacrificing that security check, but being able to get into Jesmon turn 1 I think is like something I would significantly rather prefer over just going into savior and putting them to 2, and then or going into savior and putting them to 2, and then it's 1 actually. Yeah. But they go to 3 because they're memory tamer. So I'm debating whether or not trying to fit a couple Dark Tyrannos or Monochromons in there. But the list is already
super tight. Yeah.
It's super tight.
I think honestly you just climb all the way to your savior, and then or you climb out to it. You climb to your Bauhuck, you play a sister, get a draw out, then you promote, digivolve the savior, and then you just go Jesmon.
Yeah, I think we can all agree on the level 4s of like what's needed in it. Is definitely bow. You need at least like some bow. Even if you don't like the card, you need to run it because it is a target that can be searched if you don't have a 4. That's the sad reality of that card as a whole. But you do need it because it does hit target, and also Greymon, started at Greymon, is needed because if you want to finish OTK faster, that card will literally do for you for free. You check for it, insane. It's like those 2 cards are like definitely have to be in it, and the rest it can be like it's a little tight because CL's also in it. Yeah. So that's already 3 in there. If you don't, then
I think the thing that like everybody like is like tweaking the most is your Sistermon lineup. Like, what's your Sistermon lineup? Like 3-3-2 or?
I think my sister lineup right now is 3 Blanc, 2 CL, 2 Awakened Blancs. I think that's what I'm at. I know Mario Gaming World is playing 4 Blanc, 2 Awakened, 2 CLs. So he talked about how he has 8 sisters right now, but even he wants to drop it down to 7 because
you've got that Huckmon that searches top 5 and grabs all of them. So like, why do you need that? You know what I'm saying?
You're going to see sisters enough.
You're going to see them a lot,
especially now.
I can see like a 3-3-2 split, which is like that is 8, but like the recovery +1.
But then also loses blocker though. That's one downside.
That is true.
What do you mean?
When you do Blanc Awaken, you use a Blanc just to lose its blocker for that turn. Because Blanc Awaken doesn't have the blocker
It puts it to the trash, right?
It puts it under its sources.
Wait, it puts it underneath when you on-play it?
Yes.
So Blanc Awaken. What
if you don't? Have a source to put it underneath it.
Then you don't recover.
You don't do the recovery.
Blanc Awaken requires you to put a Sister Blanc from your hand or trash underneath it to recover
hand.
one.
You can put it on your hand.
Yeah, but the point is that you won't have blocker.
The point is you're losing a Blanc that can give blocker
to multiple.
True,
so now you just have a 5k.
True, but like think of it as is like you swing, play a Blanc, draw one, then you swing, play a Blanc Awaken, pull one from your hand, and then you have 2 Blancs on the field. Like you save them from your hand more often or your trash.
Yeah.
You play from your trash. You keep all the ones in your hand. Obviously, that's what you're supposed to do with Chessmon.
I definitely think it's like more like that would be more showing like when to use what, because before it was just like every time you whip out a Blanc, if you whip out another Blanc, whip out another Blanc, then you just CL and you're done, because that means you have to pop both Blancs. But now since you have Awakening, it's gonna be a little difficult, because now you have to think of like, oh, do I want to play just the Blanc Awakening just to proc the heal, because will this keep me alive, or do I want blockers and I just put the blockers out just to sustain and have more board presence in you?
I think it does make the lines a little bit more like a little bit more messy when you're adding the Awaken, but like having the recover is good, but like how much better is it really?
Yeah.
I would say the recovery is nice, but losing blocker is essentially losing that much security times however many scissors you have in the field.
I think it's very I will say I think it is situational, because I think against decks like Blue Hybrid, you're going to want to recover more, because Blue Hybrid can just make your Digimon not be able to block. So, and if you're choosing to recover or not to recover, against decks like Blue Hybrid, you're definitely going to want to recover, whereas against Red Hybrid, you're probably going to want to throw up your blockers.
Yeah. Red Hybrid, I mean, except for you don't, because they'll gain 1 million memory, and then they'll unsuspend, and they'll kill you anyways. Yeah. And you're like, damn, bro, let me just fucking breathe for a second.
Yeah. And now, I guess we could just see what we want to, just to finish off, we're going to talk about what do we expect to be seen the most during this format for NA, because it's going to be quite different for JP, since it's a different format.
I honestly still think we're going to see a lot of like blue and yellow, but they're not going to be anywhere near as dominant as they were in Japan.
For sure. I agree.
Because like honestly, like playing a Susanoo is just playing another option. That's it. You're just playing another option that gives you a big buddy on board.
True.
Because it costs 7 memory, which is insane. Which you can give them like 3 memory, but if that's all you're doing that turn, you're just blowing up one thing. And it's like, they probably have an answer for that.
Yeah, because prior for Japan, what they use is MDF and go straight to Susanoo and just swing. Check 3 and then hybrid and swing for game.
They bottom it and then you just continue what you're doing.
Exactly, because like that was the whole game plan for Japan. They just go straight to Susanoo just to clear the last 3, and they also could pop a blocker if they wanted to, and just swing for 3 checks and then just hybrid for a game, which would be insane. Which now you can't really do anymore.
You can't do that at all
unless they give you that much memory.
Give you 7 memory or 5 memory if you have a Pokemon on the field. But either way, that is so much. That's so much.
So Pokemon's the only thing that like I think will be like so prevalent that everyone can be playing like Susanoo, Boko, stop.
Yeah, and people like
Gazimon.
People are like playing around Pokemon. They're like fucking.
Exactly.
They're like kill level 3, kill level 3, kill level 3. Get that in my deck right now.
Exactly.
Get this shit out of my life. Gazimon, put it in my purple deck 100% of the time. But I do feel like if you have to choose between either or, gaining memory or preventing gaining memory or reducing, I still think you prevent the reducing.
No, for sure.
Because
it screws them. Like
Sylphiamon for 1, or Beowulfmon for 1, or whatever.
It's insane. Because all those level 5s are crazy.
Rhino Kabuterimon for 1. Did you evolve into to Ancient Treymon? Jacob can't do anything with his Jessmon? Damn.
Yeah, true. Ancient Treymon was like, hey, stop, tap you again. After you untap.
Stop your stuff.
I get to kill the Ancient Troy and get my checks, but I'm not doing anything else that turn.
Yeah, and also they make a body back on the board after they die.
Same with the Ancient Beetlemon, which is like insane.
Because all the Ancients do that.
Oh my god.
Funny thing that happened today, there was a player who was playing Green Hybrid today, and they were super excited to play Green Hybrid. And we finished round 4, and they were super upset because they're like, yeah, it's good, but I feel like they were like, I feel like I keep getting to my Ancient just to lose it right away, and like all my work is lost. And we were like, well, you know, you have its second ability, and they were like, what? They've been playing they played the entire tournament today without playing a level 4 hybrid. off of their ancients.
That's the crazy thing about that deck is just like for green specifically is that they do have Mecha Kabuterimon that they can go straight to Digivolve over it. Oh yeah, for red too. For Burning Greymon, you can just pop a 4K or 5K or less.
Not on play.
When
it dies and
because you make it level 4,
yeah.
and you just put any vanilla. You can put Beetlemon, you can put Arbomon, you can put Guniamon, and put it out, and just go straight to Burning.
And just go back to it.
And just go back into making your lit line again.
Straight back into it.
So that's why, like, for green specifically, if you have just put like a Beetlemon, even like which is not the greatest, but if you put Arbomon and then you go Digivolve into Mecha Kabuterimon, just put on top and just tap something and just go straight to doing your line, if you can get to it, and then just. You swing.
You just swing.
Yeah, because it won't have Summoning Sickness, and if you can get to the level 5 with Rhino Kabuterimon.
Wait. It doesn't have Summoning Sickness from when you
because on the after it gets deleted by your opponent.
Oh, on their turn.
On their turn.
I see what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? So I think green is a pretty good contender. Like it depends like what people are toolboxing and like playing with it, because definitely you can see like both Ancient Troy and Ancient Beetlemon.
Yeah.
Definitely there might be like Argomon could be seen just for yellow. For just tamers in general.
Oh, the level 6.
The
level. I was like, what?
The level 6 that could just basically just tap everything and keep them tapped as long as he's on the board.
I think that's a good sideboard. Or you can even run it in the main board. But I wouldn't. I really wouldn't.
Exactly, because it's definitely like some instances it just won't show up. Or like Nidhogg if you wanted to.
I disagree, but you know,
to each
their own.
Well, we'll have to play this and find out.
I will say though, long gone are the days of like main boarding Sakuyamon for yellow, because that Sakuyamon is like an essential sideboard piece now, because you don't have to main board. I know a pretty popular player who specifically plays like Lord Nightmon, doesn't run level 7s in his main deck.
You talking Dan Bang?
No.
Oh, okay.
And he sideboards all of his level 7s because at least with Lord Nightmon, level 7s aren't as important. Lord Nightmon is a deck that I think is going to do fairly well in this set as people start to remember how Electric Rush works.
True.
And how that deck works.
It's so situational, though, I feel.
But specifically with the Pulsemon. Essentially just getting the Blinding Ray for free.
I do think like with how it could be played now and how people are just playing around just like level 3s, they're not playing against like wide removal boards anymore. That can pop a lot of things. Like Joel Shomer, like that card, like popping all cards that are 7 play costs or less. They're not gonna be playing that anymore. Except like cards such as those. The only thing that you're gonna see is just that purple option card that can just remove it. That's like the only card, right?
There's
but every other color is not gonna be running that.
There's no ultimate.
Swatch Laser is definitely like a you don't want to see that when you're playing Lord Nightmon.
No insecurity.
Exactly.
That's for sure.
But like I could definitely see Lord Knight definitely being strong, because I feel like it's now very easy for them to manipulate their security now with the hybrids and also with Kazuchimon being an attack option, making you like if you're at 1 you can go to 3 and you meet the number requirement. And as long as like let's say you have still yellow plays a lot of blockers, just put a blocker. For some Lord Knights they do if they just want to have it. That's because no Pidomon just 1 cost. It's just so cheap. And if it's have a blocker, there's no one else running blockers besides yellow that I see.
Is Burning Gray 4K or 6K?
4K. See, it'd be insane if it was a 5K, right?
I thought it was 6K, dude. Oh my god.
I'm pretty sure it's just a 4K.
I think you're right. No, I'll look it up.
Yeah, but like, that'll definitely be showing. Lilith is gonna still be very strong because Eismon still exists.
I think Lilith is stronger. I think Lilith would actually die out because of Mega Digimon Fusion, because like the other decks just utilize it so much better than they do. But now that they don't have it and they still have Eismon,
yeah. I definitely think also for good. NA, like now that for Japan they only play best of 1 versus NA plays best of 2.
Their meta is completely different from ours.
So it's completely different of how they play like main boarding stuff. So now people in our region will play like Neo Devi or like stuff that'll completely like just wreck your opponent's board and like delay them as much as they can, because like we said before, just playing a Neo Devi hard playing and give your opponent like fucking like what 3 or 4, it doesn't even matter, because you go back to 4. If they play like
just go back to 3.
If they play TK Kyrie, that's 8 costs to play this one tamer.
You go back to 3,
and it does nothing for them if you don't swing into them. Like you still choke them.
Yeah.
And this guy's still there. He's still existing, man. He's living on here for like free real estate right now. It's insane.
Or they play what's it called? They play Wyvern's Breath and just blow up your boy, and then,
Yeah.
and then boom, you're at 5 memory.
Yeah, 5 memory.
Do it again.
Do it again. Like it's like what is it? Cause,
now
like,
you're at 2.
No, that deck doesn't like the only removal that it has for yellow hybrid for going like let's say like pure base is only Wyvern's Breath and Shine Greymon. Right, those are the only 2 things that can really remove things, and you can't even recur those things back once they've been used.
Yeah, and the Burning Greymon is 4K. Yeah, okay. I thought it was 6K, and I was like, damn, that's pretty good. Yeah. But no, it's 4K, so that's a lot better.
Because like I was thinking like there's no other deck in this format that runs blockers besides yellow. Like you could like purple could still do it if they want to do it with Omnimon, but there's no need to because you have so many better options.
You run Icemon, bro.
Because it's so tight. Yeah,
Icemon, Ginkakumon.
Exactly.
Those are your plays.
But I think those are the decks. Jesmon will still be seen for sure. I think a lot of people are really trying to make Gogglebon and Magna the combo.
Magna
and Gogglebon work together. I've been seeing a lot of lists of people trying to play that. I have not, seen it because I haven't built it yet to really play test it myself.
I'm sure it's interesting, but I just feel like
it's gonna be like Ancient and Gogglebon all over again, where it's like you're missing 2 engines, and then you're gonna like. Does this one con or this one con, or I just have no one con because I just don't have any.
Well, the Gogglebon list with Ancient in it did actually work in Nationals.
Wait,
it did get like top 32, I think.
Is it Magna Garurumon? It's Magna Garurumon, right? Can you search the Garurumon part of it?
Which
with Gogglebon?
I think it says Garurumon in its name and Omnimon.
So that means you can grab it.
But you would just run Pokemon.
True.
Which is why I think you can run the Ancient package in Gogglebon this time because you just have Pokemon instead.
True.
And then you can do Lobos for free, which is also really good, which I didn't actually think about.
True. Oh my god. Yeah, true. That's true. So yeah, blue. I feel like that, like blue, like any type of blue, like we said earlier, will be good. Dark Nightmon, I feel like could possibly be potential 1.5, maybe tier 2. I just don't know. I just haven't seen any topics enough deck lists to really like analyze it for NA to know, or just global.
I think those the Commandramon lists are going to be really really strong against the Lord Nightmon lists and not Lord Nightmon lists. What was I going to say? Yeah, the hybrid lists, like the yellow and blue hybrid. Because I feel like they don't actually deal that well with aggro decks.
Yeah.
Because like every deck in this format is super slow because they're playing a bunch of tamers every turn.
Yeah,
so they actually don't have a lot of stuff that they're actually doing to progress their board state. And if their guy dies, they just kind of lost it. And they're just playing a tamer again, then passing. Yeah. So like having decks that are just constantly checking your security is just huge.
Yeah, no, for sure. Is there other decks that we need to know that's stated? Security control. Talk about that real quick. What do you think it's gonna be? Are we gonna see it?
I think it's not good until you have the starter decks come out for it.
True.
The Mastermon starter deck. I think it's like the Seraphimon, insane. Actually no, maybe not the starter decks. The Ophanimon Fall Down mode. When Ophanimon Fall Down mode comes out, oh my god, that deck is crazy good.
Security control. Yeah, I think for this format for us, I think security control won't be seen as much. I think people are going to definitely try to force it, but I think it's just too slow, and there's just no point in playing in the set where like if you're playing against the red hybrid and you just literally get chicked and there's nothing happening because
and they have
Aldemon, you're basically just screwed. So
Aldemon, no,
that's not gonna happen. And also since everything's so uninteractable by things that have to be present on board, it won't happen anymore because of it. So I think that's gonna be definitely not gonna exist. I think that's pretty much it of deck list that we need to talk about.
I mean, you've got like the cool decks, like we were talking about, like the purple yellow hybrid, and then the green red hybrid, which I've been seeing a lot, at least at our locals, where they're definitely interesting, and there could be a lot of tweaking that needs to be done. But I think honestly, this meta, you're going to see the most amount of different decks. You're not going to see like a lot of like meta heavy decks. You're going to see because there's no defined meta at this point because there's a ban list which Japan didn't have, which we can't go off of. We can just go off like the base of it and then just kind of branch out.
Exactly, because it'll be super diverse. I've been like a lot of people are playing just really niche stuff that like trying to fit it in because they got some type of support to fit. Especially for purple, any purple. The Icemon just makes everything works for purple.
Yeah, purple is just so strong.
A deck I think won't do as a deck I think that was like projected to do well, but I don't think will do as well. Is I honestly don't see green hybrid doing as well as people are saying it is going to be.
Okay.
Really? I think a lot of people are playtesting it because green has been unplayable for a second.
Purple.
For the idea of now having a good green set with Ancient Beetlemon and the JP lineup, I think people are going to apt to want to play green hybrid. I just don't think it's as I don't think what's there is as good as what people are making it out to be. I think it's like it's entirely dependent on what green suffers a lot of, which is having to both suspend and swing into stuff to delete. Or to answer you have to answer a board state purely by suspending and swinging stuff. Whereas I think like the other and normally when you're doing that, unless you have JP, you're taking away from actually progressing the game because you're just answering threats on board and not like closing out security. Whereas decks like yellow and purple can answer, or decks like yellow, purple, and blue can answer board states while progressing the game. They're able to at least. Maybe not with Lilith.
Lilith cannot do anything to board states, bro. All Lilith can do is kill you. That's it. That's it. That's all I got.
But a lot of those decks are able to like progress the game by just like closing out and like getting rid of security. Magna and Magna Gurumon's effect is like a when attacking
and
able to get and able to get stuff off of the board. Whereas green specifically has to tap stuff down and swing into it. So I think you're going to see. I don't see green doing as well as people want it to be.
That's why I say like green red will do better, because like the green bottom end, it's just like nothing. It's really nothing because like the Betamon, poop. What else do they even run? Like Goblimon?
Goblimon for choking and Tentamon.
Tentamon?
Top, and the green you just add to your hand.
Yeah, you just grab. The red bottom end where you just go ahead and grab Tamers and Hybrids with the BT6 Strabimon, then you have the Atomic Inferno or whatever. Atomic Blaster or whatever it's called.
Atomic Inferno definitely is a spicy card that you can put in.
Because it checked in security. All of the Digimon get security attack +1. Huge. And then if it gets blocked, then they gain 3 memory, but they're already, like your Ancient Mutalon or like whatever is getting the security attack +1. And gaining and checking like multiple security already, and if you block or you can swing into something, you're already trashing something else. You're checking 3 for swinging for the same thing you do with like Ancient Greymon. But I feel like if you're doing that, you might as well just run red. You know.
No, for sure. Okay, I think that'll be it for the podcast. Thanks to you guys for listening and tuning in
to our first podcast, our first episode of Mon-Talk with the boys.
But yeah, if you guys have any questions or some topics that we could talk about, and you guys are interested on our opinions on the format or product or market or what cards,
whatever you want to talk about,
we'll definitely talk about it on the next podcast.
We like all things Digimon card game. Card game. I don't care about anything else with the card game.
But just leave it down in the comment section. Definitely subscribe. So
leave a like, subscribe, and post a question in the comments.
As the usual ones do.
Yeah.
But yeah. Thank you guys for listening again. This is the Bonchos.
The Bonchos. Yeah.
Signing off. Bye.
Later.